Huge news today. We've got a new Form 3/A right here. Now, this is the Form 4 from before that we covered, and I said, obviously, this was the stock option right to buy, and now there's a lot of confusion with what that actually is. Now, no one seems to know. I checked the BNGO subreddit and some other YouTubers' videos, no disrespect to them, but people don't seem to know. A lot of them are confused as to what this is. Did Al-Kachabi actually pick up shares, or is it just the option? What actually is going on here? Now, to me, I did some research on this, and based on my understanding, she did not pick up. She picked up 0 options. These are literally just 3 more call options. Okay, these are just stock options, right to buy. Okay, they're essentially call options that allow her to purchase 10,000, 5,000, and another 10,000 amount of shares. And then here's your exercise price. Okay, she's got an extremely in the money option contract right here. If you know anything about options, and then this one is in the money by a ton, and this one is out the money by a fair amount. So, and then here, and they're leaps. Okay, they are essentially leaps, which are just long-term anticipation securities. This is great news. Of course, there's no reason why these people. You cannot tell me that this is just the compensation for their work. It is not the compensation for their work, in my opinion, at all. Otherwise, why is it so high, right? I mean, the amount of shares that they potentially could buy here is more than their salary for a couple of years. I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars when you factor in the 275,000 share amount right here. I mean, we are talking millions of dollars, especially when you add in this 25,000 more shares, right? If we take a look at the fine print here, we've got 3 different keys for each different call option here. Now, the first one is 2030, 2021, and 2028. So they each have different little key important things here. So basically, it's similar to the last one, right? They are going to vest, which just means that they're not going to be fully exercisable. They're not going to be able to purchase all that 10,000 shares for the first contract here. They're going to be vesting monthly, and they will be fully exercisable on the 4-year anniversary of such date. Okay, so 4-year anniversary from July 15th, 2021. So 4 years. So 2024, July 15th. That is when they will be able to fully purchase shares. So do not expect a week from now, insiders to come out and be like, "Hey, we bought 1 million shares." I mean, they could still buy it. They could still buy a fair amount because, as we're going to go over, plenty of them still have stock options that they have not really done anything with. But this is that's essentially the gist here. Okay, they're all saying, okay, and this is the third one, 25% of the shares vested in October 2019. Okay, the remaining shall vest in 36 equal monthly installments thereafter. This is big news. Now, how big actually is this, right, Brandon? Who cares? Okay, we understand it, Brandon. What is the actual implication here? Now, obviously, guys, I told you this. Everything that I've been saying the last couple of weeks have just been coming to fruition with the news that we're going to get into. But as far as these, they are big because there's no chance that you can tell me. Let's go to the new one here. We can just leave it on the new one if anyone wants to read over this. Okay, I'll link it in the description as well if you want to fact check me or whatever. It is big because you cannot tell me that compensation is going to be the reason why there's this many shares. I mean, we are talking about millions of dollars here, and especially with the CEO, 775,000 shares. Are you kidding me? You times that by 7, and that's you're looking at $14 million off the top of my head, but my math is horrible, so I'm probably wrong. But it's millions of dollars nonetheless in stock options that they have, and they're still getting paid. I mean, if we look at, so according to Simply Wall Street, they're still getting plenty of compensation. Okay, this guy's making almost $1 million a year. COO Mark here is making $500,000 a year, and then I'm sure these guys are getting paid a fair amount. Now, of course, their total compensation does take into effect short-term incentives such as cash bonuses and stock options. Now, this stock option here, they're not getting any money from this until they actually spend their money to buy the shares, and then after that, the share price goes up. So they're not actually making any money from these options that they have purchased. They have not purchased the shares from the options. They have just bought the right to buy these. Right? They have that's what an option is. It's a contract, aka it's the right to buy. Right? That's why they have this right here. So basically, all in all, from my understanding, I could be wrong on this. Right? Of course, call me out if I am. Okay, blah blah yada yada. This to me it's just more insider buying down the road. It's guaranteed. That's what it is. Guaranteed insider buying down the road, unless CEO gets shot in the head or California dies and Bionano dies with it, right? And Lineagen would still be there, so we'd still be getting some revenue, right? Because they're in Utah. So according to fentanyl.io, there are 1,000 stock options out here that they have not actually exercised yet. So some of these have been exercised, I'm sure. We're going look at the day here. Okay, we're going back into mid last year, but some of these, especially, I mean, obviously we know all of these ones, these top four, and then the one that is going to be, they have not updated this. This one was from the 23rd. Okay, here's your proof right here. Okay, 23rd, institutional ownership. So fentanyl.io, we have some interesting things. So we have several funds loading up, right? We have new positions. We have old people loading up more shares, right? The total market index fund, Fidelity, they are adding shares now. Of course, it's the total market fund, so I don't think they're really picking and choosing which stock to go into necessarily. But nonetheless, we'll take the institutional ownership, right? Because there's monkeys out there, and there's retail investor monkeys that go and don't want to invest in stocks because low institutional ownership, and that is fine. That's a reasonable notion and idea and synthesis for some people, but for me, the less the inside institutional ownership is for a company like Bionano that we know it's going to do great things long term. Literally, it's just more upside because sooner or later, as their revenue starts being more concrete and as their innovation starts becoming more apparent, they're going to get in. That's what they're waiting for. So for me, I mean, does that make sense to you? I mean, so it's literally a good thing in a lot of ways. In the way I just said that institutional ownership is low. It just means more institutions are waiting for the green light to load up, and we're already gaining on the day, right? We're already pushing very high, and it's looking like Monday, based on this article that I'm going to read to you, looking like a lot of people are going to be loading the boat on Monday or not, right? We've had news before that people totally neglect. So, but also we have plenty of other institutions loading up. We have one institution selling out. Oh my gosh, I feel sorry for these guys, man. And remember, guys, the file date is not necessarily indicative of the transaction dates, right? Remember, this could be a month ago, right? They could have loaded up a month ago or a week ago or 2 weeks ago, right? We don't know exactly. But we have 1,000 institutions loading up the last couple of days. We have more green rows than red. And remember, these white rows, the only thing about the white rows is that they're just not new positions. Okay, they are adding unless they're negative, right? Can I find a negative one in here, for example? Okay, for this one right here, this is a selling right here. This person's selling, right? This person's selling right here as well. This is a new position, but they are selling, or I guess they're going short or doing a put for some reason. I don't really understand this one that much. And remember, I could be reading any of this wrong, so keep that in mind. But yeah, all in all, in my mind, I mean, based on this, right, a lot of institutions in the aggregate, they are adding more shares than selling more shares, and it makes sense, right? I mean, come on, we're at such a low valuation for such a stock that has such potential. This was on the 23rd from this genius right here. Bionano's UK deal is huge for BNGO stock. Now, let me just get this out of the way. I got to get this out of my system. Now, everything that this guy talks in this article, we covered on the day of the actual UK deal. We lit every single thing that he says in here, basically, that I'm going to go over. We talked about. I mean, he talks about the domino effect that, hey, UK is a big country. A lot of other other institutions are going to look to them for advice, and they're using Sapphire. They might use Sapphire as well. I called the domino effect for institutions back on the Africa deal, and I'll be spamming cards, and I'll put links in the description in the comments to prove my claims here. There's a ton of good points in here that we just don't have time to go over, so I'm only going to go over the game-changing stuff. Bionano recently announced an innovation enabled by Sapphire that could help scientists develop much more tolerable chemotherapy drugs. Now, we said a month ago that there are going to be markets for Bionano stock and Bionano's company that no one is that zero people are aware of, and I believe that today, although some of them, as we're going to be talking about, some of them are coming to fruition now, also with the tolerable chemotherapeutic drugs, right? Literally, we're getting this stuff, the stuff that I've been calling for like 3 months now, are finally coming to fruition with the fundamentals of the company, with the share price. I mean, short term it's coming to fruition, but long term we're still getting killed, right? Midterm, I mean, long term we're doing fine, right? But midterm we're getting absolutely annihilated still. We need to break out of this downtrend and break out of this descending level of resistance to break the downtrend. With this deal, there are two large laboratories belonging to the NHS of the United Kingdom. They would utilize Sapphire through a rental agreement. Basically, it's guaranteed revenue over time. And I said that word for word in the video when we covered this, okay? And this article is just covering now. Of course, no one watches my videos because we get no views because people like the flashy YouTubers that ask for likes and subs and Weeble links in the first 5 seconds. But we covered all of this. And of course, people are going to care about this guy's words more than my own. Okay, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. But if people would have watched these videos and actually realized, hey, this is literally guaranteed revenue because it's a commitment to purchase consumables, not only the Sapphire, but several products, because they're not going to be using just the Sapphire. They're going to be using several different things to help them potentially make more efficient, cheaper, more efficient, whatever. Okay, efficient means cheaper and better, accuracy, higher detection, chemotherapeutic drugs. And that kind of advancement, are you kidding me? If Bionano Sapphire aided in the development of a more efficient chemotherapeutic drug, I mean, I think it's safe to say that would be a huge, huge news and able to send the stock price maybe 50%, maybe 200%, maybe 500%. Okay, I have no idea. Maybe 5, maybe 10%. I don't know, but that would be huge news for me at least. In other words, right, exactly what I was saying. In addition to Red Sapphire, the insurer has agreed to buy multiple products, okay, that support the system. As a result, the deal should meaningfully boost Bionano's top and bottom lines for 2021 and for years to come. In other words, right, AKA, but basically what this guy's saying is the revenue for 2021 is going to be up. And of course, you guys know, I'll put a card on the top right now. I predicted a while ago the 2021 revenue for Bionano. I did my projections, and it's more than a 100% increase year over year. And this is just adding to that case. And I think, honestly, based on the news we've got, UK, Africa, this deal right here, I mean, it is looking like it's going to be way higher than what I initially thought for my projections, right? And that's already more than the analysts are projecting. So we're already looking at way higher than the analysts are projecting, which you guys know what that means. What that basically means, in other words, if you didn't understand any of that, EPS beats on every single quarter, or at least as we get closer to the end of the year, it's going to be, it's going to be more likely that we're going to get huge beats as compared to, June 17th or July 17th, whenever the quarter one earnings is going to come out. Both the NHS labs that are renting Sapphire, we use the system to research hematological cancers that affect the blood, bone marrow, and lymph nodes. They will also value Sapphire one another lab for the detection of SVs and structural and patients with development delay, infertility, rare disease, and other genetic diseases. Right, we've been talking about forever that IVFs, okay, prenatal, postnatal, susceptibility awareness, and in what diseases you're likely to get. Okay, cancer care, research and development, right? 1,000 different things that I'm not even talking about. The sleep aid market, right? Genetic abnormality solutions, right? All these different markets, and 1,000 that I'm not even remembering off the top of my head. The Sapphire will be able to help, and Bionano's other products, remember, they're not tied only to the Sapphire. They can make new products. Those products and the Sapphire are going to have a higher total addressable market and a higher market share of those markets than anyone else on YouTube or in the news outlets, in the Weenie Baby Circle, or in whatever group you want to put them in, are predicting right now. Before making this major financial commitment, the NHS experts almost definitely evaluated Sapphire's capabilities and determined that there is an excellent chance that the Bionano Sapphire system, can produce breakthroughs in hematological cancers and many other diseases. I mean, this goes without saying, right? I don't even know why this person put this in here. We already knew this. I don't even know if I said this because it's so damn obvious, right? I mean, come on, why would they make a deal without actually making sure the product that they're going to be making this deal with and taking, that's their end of the deal, they're getting that product, they better be making sure that it's a good product. This guy's thesis is largely based that the Sapphire will be able to enable diseases to be more effectively and more cheaply researched and competing products. Okay, it already does this in a lot of ways, but there's plenty of more diseases that it will be able to do this with, while helping scientists and doctors more accurately determine which patients are more vulnerable to the illnesses. NHS's decision to utilize Sapphire raises my confidence that it can indeed perform these very valuable functions. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, the articles and the news outlets, they have been sucking lately, and midterm, they've been getting better since the bottom of the correction. But this really helps the articles because this is the best article and the most bullish article. And it's not the best article that I've seen just because it's bullish, but it is the best I've seen because it is literally making all the points that I make in the videos. I mean, doesn't this just sound like me talking and ranting, going on one of my rants? From a financial and marketing standpoint, I think the NHS deal will turn out to be a huge game changer for Bionano. The UK is one of the most prominent countries in the world with close ties to many other English-speaking nations. Right, this is what I was talking about at the start. It's a domino effect. They see the UK using it. Hey, my friend's laboratory is using it. What is it? Is it good? They just made a deal for it. They've got huge game-changing things on the line. They've got products. They've got new research and development. Right? Maybe we should try it. Domino effect, man. Think of Bitcoin. Think of Bitcoin's struggle to get in the mainstream. Once it got in that mainstream, it was just a matter of time, man, before nearly everyone was looking at it or at least paying attention to it. And you are bound to have, as the more people you have are interested in a thing, the more people are going to actually effectuate it and do what you want, right? Whether that's buy it or whatever it is, right? In this case, we want them to buy shares. Consequently, if Sapphire proves to be very beneficial for the UK's NHS, as this person believes it will, then many other nations will likely hear the news and look to utilize Sapphire as well. I mean, does this guy watch my videos? I mean, this is essentially, in other words, this is what a domino effect is, right? They a couple other nations hear it, and then it's just more and more nations hearing it, and they would utilize the sapphire as well. And of course, it's going to be, if the sapphire proves to be very beneficial, which I would bet a lot of money that it will. In fact, I am betting a lot of money it will. Let me show you my portfolio right now before I forget. Okay, only YouTube that does this ever. Okay, I show you my portfolio, and this is, I am in college. Okay, that's why it's such a small amount. And yeah, this is how I believe what I'm saying. I'm not just trying to pump and dump the stock. Okay, I'm holding my Bionano shares. I do a Bionano video every damn day, except maybe Saturday and Sunday. I take 1 day a break for Bionano, and other than that, I do it every single day. You all see my shares every single time right there. That's my share count right there. So you can. I'm the only person that says that and does that. So there you go. There's my transparency and honesty for you. Here's another market: DNA replication in cancer. Now this is kind of why the whole cancer chemotherapeutic drugs enhancing. This is where that whole synthesis comes in. If we can understand the replication of it, maybe we can understand how to stop it better and enhance some chemotherapeutic drugs. Now, this would be absolutely huge. Now, I've already ranted on the potential stock price increase if we got something like that, which is 1,000% possible, 100,000% possible, right? In summary, sapphire has enabled scientists to much more effectively understand the DNA replication process, and that increased understanding may allow them to develop chemotherapy treatments with less intense effects, right? This is just what we've been saying. The only reason I'm reading this stuff, right, we could read all this stuff. There's a lot of good info in this article, but you guys already know this stuff if you've been keeping up with the channel. I've already said everything here, but hearing it from an article and someone else may further legitimize this for you. So I want to repeat some of the stuff that you've already heard me say, like every day of day, right? This deal goes a long way towards validating this person's positive thesis on the company and establishing Sapphire as a highly reputable, widely used tool. I mean, if they did make that much more tolerable chemotherapy treatment, that would in turn make Sapphire extremely valuable. Right? Exactly what I'm saying, but you're hearing it from this person, so maybe that legitimizes it a bit for you. There's a great chance that Sapphire will prove to be hugely disruptive. So the 1.72 billion market capitalization of BNGO stock is minuscule in light of the company's great potential. I mean, come on. When is the last time that you've heard an analyst literally use my vocabulary in describing Bionano's potential? As a result, I recommend that investors buy the company's shares. Hands down the best article that I have ever seen in regards to Bionano stock. Honestly, I mean, it's basically just me, right? It's basically just me writing an article, which of course I believe what I say. So if I see someone doing that, I'm gonna like it. And this was a new article. Obviously, I'll link it below if y'all want to see it. April 23rd. Next thing: global market for sleep aid devices could reach 112.7 billion by 2025. Now, how the heck is this relating to Bionano? Let's just scroll down here. Active companies in the markets this week include Ocugen, this crap company, Bionano Genomics Incorporated. What the heck? Sleep aid market? No, I didn't know they were in the sleep aid market. Well, me personally, I didn't know that necessarily, but I did know, we got 1,000 markets that we don't even know about, right? I say this every day almost. This is just one of them that, of course, the mainstream is now waking up to, and let's go over some reasons why. I could rant a long time on why sleep problems are just going to increase for my generation, but we don't have time to go over all this stuff that is very relevant. Sleep disorders are affecting a large pool of the population, right? Boosted awareness about these disorders. Now, optical genome mapping, as you guys know, it has potential to cure things that we don't even know about, which in turn gives it a potential total addressable market in the sleep aid market, which obviously, it has a total addressable market of this by 2025. And of course, we're not expecting that all to go to Bionano. I would be happy if we get a 1% to 10% market share in this, and I'd be happy. Obviously, we'll take the billions of dollars, right? We'll take $1 billion, even less than that, even a 0.5%, right? Now, down the line, you better bet that Bionano is going to be having some products or devices or some research and development tools with the Sapphire or some other product, right? Sapphire is not their only product. Remember that. We are going to go over their other products one of these days, but there's just great news every day that I have to go over that's more relevant to that. But you better bet that there's a high chance that Bionano Sapphire or one of their products can help in sleep aid, which is going to be a huge market, probably, in my humble opinion, not so humble, much higher than this by 2025, or at least around that range, if not way higher. I'll link this in as well. There is some good information, but it's just not too relevant to Bionano besides, what we kind of just talked about. Current positions, there you go for Bionano. My May 9th price target is $10. It's looking not the most likely at this point because we only have like 10 days till that, and it's obviously need like a 40% increase. But my likely case end of year is $50. Before you say, Brandon, there's no way, there's no chance. My realistic These price targets were when I made them on February 5th, and yes, my opinions have slightly changed. I'm still super bullish long term, and with the recent news the last couple of weeks, this has only gotten more likely, right? But my worst case, realistically, unless CEO gets shot in the head or something crazy happens that we can't predict, or not even counting in our bear case, $20 realistic worst case. Revelation is done now. Do this stuff if you want. Friday live stream. We've got we've got a live stream on Friday, right? Every Friday we have one, and also Sunday live stream 12 as well. Wow, so many mistypes right there. Wow. Yeah, we've got a live stream, boys. It is at 12. I'll link it in the comments. I'll link it in the description. Okay. Wow, I have it right here. I didn't even see that. Okay. We also have the tutorial technical analysis indicators visit. If you did not understand the technical analysis in most of the videos I did, we did not do them in this one, but check out that playlist, the Auspicious Technical Analysis playlist, and also go vote in that poll if you want. Anyways, this is not financial advice. Thank y'all so much. See y'all in the next one.